What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome back to FC Lahti. So here we are, the final ever video we will do here at FC Lahti, and it's going to be a long one. We've got a lot of stuff to go through, so let's go through it. So best place to head is obviously the competitions screen. We currently find ourselves in the Silman Cup final, so that's what we're going to be live coming first today, that actual cup final. The club itself also finds its the club itself, or us ourselves, whatever, we find ourselves in the UEFA Europa League. So of course that's great. You know, we're in the Europa League. That is, you know, we achieved what we wanted to achieve sort of there. They want us to be competitive. We currently won one game. We beat Dynamo Bucharest, the easiest team in the group. It's an actual pretty tough group, really. We're actually the lowest seeded team in our group. So the fact that we won that game, it was a really good achievement. Obviously, I'll go into fixtures in a second and we'll have a look at that. But most importantly, the league, of course, the sort of biggest competition we can win here. We currently find ourselves second, and it's going to be a very, very tight run into the end of the season. Now, I won't live come, of course, every game until the end of the season, but I'll try and live come the game where we can win the league. And it's still very much a possibility that we can win the league. You know, we'll win it twice on the bounce. But we threw away a golden opportunity, as the previous game, quite literally 3 days ago on the Wednesday just been, we drew 1-1 to HJK at home in a game that I guess you could say we somewhat dominated, but we didn't actually deserve to win. And it was so annoying because HJK are our rivals. They're currently above us by a point. If we'd won that game, we'd have gone 2 points clear, and I would have felt we could go on and win the league from there. So really frustrating. Like I said, it's going to be a really tense running to the end of the season. So going into the schedule, last time I saw you, we played just before the IFK game. We didn't livecom that. We actually lost 2-1 in a really disappointing game where we should have done more. In the end, it was a pretty poor defensive display from us, which allowed IFK to actually go on and win the game. We gifted them with some really good opportunities. Jordan Labourganet, our defensive midfielder, centre midfielder thing, and also at defence, and most notably Stefan Arthurworry, had shocking games. I mean, don't take away from the fact that we didn't really do anything when we went forward. 22 shots and only 4 on target. That's wasteful. But, you know, we'd scored early on. We shouldn't have really thrown away the lead. And the fact that we did came down to some poor defending. So, disappointing defeat there. And, you know, that's 2 points, 3 points, I should really say, that could cost us. After that, we played KUS and we actually drew 2-2. So, yet again, 3 games without a win in a row. That's not really like us. And again, another performance where we should have got more out of the game. You know, we were 2-0 up. That should have been us safe. But Lucas Toussaint, I think it's pronounced, had a shocking game. Absolutely shocking. And we just gifted them away back into the game. 32nd minute, they got one back. And then, you know, with only one goal in the balance for a whole 45 minutes and some, it was always likely that, you know, the next goal was going to decide the game. The next goal was going to decide how the points were delegated. And it took to the 88th minute for us to concede the last goal. And I was gutted with that because, as you can see, I actually made all 3 subs in the 82nd minute, trying to, you know, freshen things up, especially defensively and the midfield-wise as well, just to try and, like I said, keep the team fresh in the last few minutes of the game. But the concentration level slipped and we conceded. And again, 2 points that could cost us the title. Anyway, following that, we played Honka in the Silman Cup semi-final, and this game was very frustrating. So again, we didn't win in 90 minutes, but we got ourselves a man sent off in the 6th minute, Stefan Arthurworry, yet again having a bad game after his poor performance in the defeat 2 games ago. He then got himself sent off, like I said, very early on in this match, but we still looked very comfortable. In the by the 25th minute, we were 2-0 up. Cole Stockton and Bruno Wilson getting the goals. Cole Stockton ended up having to go off before half-time with an injury in the 43rd minute, which meant we had to bring on Yuri Klaassen. And then, you know, going forward into the game, Honka started clawing themselves back in the game. It was pretty even from, you know, in the second half. It was actually an evenly fought match. Honka probably were a little bit better than us in the second half. But they scored in the 52nd minute, and I was like, okay, yeah, look, we should win this game. We should see this game out. And then in the 76th minute, the centre-back we brought on, Lucas Toussaint, and put in the centre-back role after the sending off, he got injured. And that meant we had to, we were down to 9 men, because at that point, you know, we were down to 10 men. I'd made all 3 subs. I took Jamie Allen off in the 64th minute, not thinking that we'd won it, but thinking that I'd put a fresher pair of legs in the middle of the park just to try and help the effort of being down to 10 men and trying to still, you know, act like we've got 11. we were down to 9 men, and I was like, oh no. So we went defensive. We tried to just wrap up the game. We didn't. In the 86th minute, we crumbled, and meant that we had to go through an additional 30 minutes of football with only 9 men. And that, the team was shattered after the game. So were the other team, in fairness. But, it's a lot more effort, or a lot more effort needs to be put in for a team with 9 men. And in the end, I'd say we were pretty fortunate to still have the game at a draw. I mean, Honka didn't really do anything with the chances they were getting. In fact, they weren't really getting many great chances, which is, I say, a valiant effort from my team. The fact that we limited Honka to a few long shots and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, they still had chances, but they weren't like clear-cut opportunities. So it meant it went all the way down to penalties, and again, being down to 9 men, that means I've only got 9 players to choose from. So my list to choose from was shortened than what I would have rather have had. But we ended up scoring all 4 penalties that we could take. They actually missed 2, Honka, and I say missed. In fact, Wolf, our goalkeeper, saved both penalties that they missed. So we ended up going through to the final just about through the skin of our teeth, but it was a frustrating game, not because we didn't play well, but because injuries and this red card just made it harder than it should have been. But then we went on a brilliant run of form, as you can currently see. TPS, we've won 1-0. Following the Honka game, we played Zurich and won 3-2 away from home. Fantastic performance away from home. Again, red card, very silly timing of a red card. You shouldn't get yourself sent off in the 92nd minute. Just sloppy, just really, really sloppy. And they did, of course, go on and score after the 93rd minute. So 3-2 victory in the first leg. Still, in my opinion, not knowing what I know in the second leg, should have seen us go through, and it did, obviously. But like I say, 3 away goals, it was looking really, really comfortable. In between the 2 Europa League games, we won 1-0 against TPS in the league. Cole Stockton's 8th minute goal being enough to win us the game, but TPS didn't have a shot, so it was always comfortable. But anyway, Zurich came to our place, and we beat them 1-0, but 4-2 on aggregate. We pretty much just killed the rest of the game off. So, fantastic performance, and like I said, it was brilliant just to get to the Europa League group stages. I won't see out the whole group stages because, well, I'm going to leave after the QPS game. I'll probably leave either just after or just before the Standard René's second game is played. But Europe's never been a priority here, so, I'm not going to see out my Europa League campaign, because even if we do somehow manage to get through the group stages, we're not going to go any further than that, and that's being brutally honest. But anyway, back to the league. After that, we drew 1-1 to NYPA, yet again taking the lead in this game, but they managed to get themselves an equaliser in the 58th minute. Probably the closest game we'd had in a little bit in the league, or definitely in terms of match stats. It seemed like it was more of a competition. Otherwise, in other games, it's been down to the fact that we haven't played well enough. In this game, we played all right, but NYPA seemed to be able to match us. So a draw probably reflected how it felt during the match. But still, I would love to have got more here. And again, two injuries forcing changes in this game. Anyway, after that, 5-1 victory against FC Hacker. Nice, easy, comfortable performance. Good to see Matai Gallen getting a hat-trick. Following that, 4-2 against Honka. Yet again, a good performance, showing our dominance when we have 11 men on the pitch against Honka. Arthwari as well, getting sent off in the 6th minute in the semi-final. Scored in the 6th minute when we played them later on. So the 6th minute seems to have a love with Arthwari. And Stockton, Jamie Allen and Gallen getting on the score sheet as well. Following that, we played our first ever Europa League group stage game. This is the first ever Europa League group stage game, I believe, from any team in Finland. I mean, I could be wrong there. Correct me if I am. But I was looking at HJK, and they hadn't played in a European group stage competition. I didn't bother checking Jaro, who had a little bit of spell dominance in the league as well, but I didn't bother checking their history. I could be bothered. But yeah, so I don't know if we're the first ever team to have got to a group stage from Finland, which would be great history, but either way, it's definitely the first time this club has ever done it, so to win in the first game was brilliant. At home against Dynamo Bucharest, David Ammo, Cole Stockton in a pretty decent performance from the team. We felt comfortable throughout the game, which is quite surprising. But yeah, nice to get the victory either way. SC Inter, we won 3-0. Bruno Wilson getting himself sent off in the 85th minute, but it was a definite red. Watching the replay, he was the last man they were going for on goal, FC Inter, and he just brought down the player before he entered the box. I understand the red card, and I'm still kind of angry he got the red card, but I can completely see the reasoning behind it. Other red cards I don't really get, but still in the 85th minute, conceding a goal wouldn't have been a bad thing. We were still going to win the game. I would have rather have at least had him on the bench for the HJK game. As you can see in the HJK game itself, it was 1-1, and as you can see, it was a relatively evenly fought match, but when I go into the match stats itself, you'll see that we had 0 clear-cut opportunities and 0 half chances. In fact, the goal scored by Alexis Alagui, I believe it's pronounced, was a brilliant goal, and in fact his first ever goal for the club, so it was a brilliant time for him to score it, because at that point we looked like we were going to do nothing. It looked like it was going to be a defeat, and Sid was going to win the game for HJK. So I take my hat off to the guy, to the super sub Alexis Alagui. This was probably one of our only highlights of the second half. In fact, it was the only highlight of the second half, just to show how boring the game was, but a brilliant outside of the boot shot, beating the goalkeeper, at the near post, and making up for a goal that I was pretty disappointed to see conceded in the first place. I'll show you Sid's goal, because again, I think a lot of blame has to be put on the keeper here. I thought he took a deflection on the way through when I originally saw this goal, but it just doesn't. Wolf just gets beaten at his near post for some reason, and I can't really put my finger on it of why he did that. Arthur Worry got blamed for that goal, which is why his rating was so low, but I do have to say I expected more from the keeper there. So, that's how we've been doing in the league. Like I say, we've still got 4 games to try and turn our season around. We've got a tough game against Jaro coming up. JJK are a relatively difficult team as well, but we're favourites for the rest of the season against all the teams we're playing. So fingers crossed we can pick up 4 wins out of 4. HJK themselves, of course, they've not got Europa League and stuff, so they've just got 4 league games in a row, but they've still got some tough games coming up. FC Hacker in 8th. Honka, I'd probably say one of their toughest games away from home. So that could be an interesting one. That might be where they drop points. They play AFC Inter at home and IFK at home. So in my eyes, Honka game is the only game they're realistically going to drop points. So otherwise, it's all at home, and their home form has been pretty good this season. In fact, when was the last time they lost in the league at home? All the way up here against FC Inter. So it has been done before against FC Inter, but it was a penalty on that day. So it looks unlikely that they're going to drop points. It's not like they won't drop points. Like I said, just looks unlikely. So let's go into this cup final against Jaro today. Now, I want to mention something quickly, which I find quite weird. In the past 5 games that we've played against Jaro, we have won. Wait, we have. Yeah, sorry, 1 lost, 1 lost, and 1. So based on that pattern, we should lose this game. Fingers crossed we don't, obviously. We want to try and win this. So, one guy I've got on trial quickly. I put this guy on trial purely for his name. I mean, I wanted to see that booty in more detail. So, yeah, he probably won't, because I'm not even going to be here to sign him. So I just pretty much just brought him in for the hell of it. But yeah, we've got an injury today to Gullin, which means he's going to be out of the bench. We are going to put Arten Arnolton on the bench as well, and we're also going to put Bruno Wilson on the bench. In fact, we're actually going to go with Le Bourgonais because Arnolton is quite tired. But anyway, the team for today's cup final is Wolf in goal, Abdullah at right back, Arthworry, Borthwick Jackson in defence, and out on the left we have Taylor. Midfield is Chishobla, Bocard and Allen. Right attacking mid is Ammo, left attacking mid is Gallen, and up front is Cole Stockton. Let's do this. Let's win ourselves the 2nd Silman Cup in a row, and get our 2nd cup trophy of the season. Hopefully give the team that boost that I don't really think they should need, but the boost that might just be enough to help us go on and win this treble. Of course, this time last season, I believe we had the treble wrapped up. You know, this was the treble winning game. You know, this was the game where we decided, do we win the treble or do we win the double? Right now, this could be, do we win 1 trophy, do we win 2 trophies, or are we going to go on and win 3 trophies? You know, we lose this here today, we could only be having 1 trophy this year. And obviously, we want more than that. We've got a team beyond the quality of that. We just need to prove it. So, start's been more Jaro than anything. We have had our first shot, but not on target. So, it's been a pretty boring start to this final. And now Jaro are going to get the first highlight of the game, maybe. Ahmed gets it in the box. Borthwick Jackson with a good challenge. Taylor with another good challenge. 2 great tackles in the box by our defenders. And now we're going to try and counter-attack by the looks of it. Gallen with the ball out on the left. He's on great form recently, Gallen. Pretty quiet in the HJK game. But previously, before that, he was on lightning form. So hopefully we'll return to that today. Still no actual highlight here. Arthworry's tackling, but now he's out of position. And in fact, it looks like they're going to go through. And it's a wasteful opportunity from Jaro. End-to-end stuff right now. You know, they were on the attack, we were on the attack, they're on the attack. And in the end, they missed a chance. But Jaro are definitely starting to better out of the 2 teams right now. And we need to turn that around. We can't be having that. We can't be playing badly on all days. You know, it's the big final. Why is everyone... I can understand nerves and stuff on the final, but performances like this, I can't understand. We've had a half chance. It's not been seen on camera. But I'm gonna have to say to them, man, there are a lot of fans here who are desperate to see acceleration. Don't let them down. Yeah, I quite like that. See, the what the assistant says up there, that little bit there, I like the wordings of that, because to me, what he said there, but then what he actually says in the team talk, I don't like the wording of. Anyway, Alan with a corner whipped him. Oh my God, the two centre backs! They've linked up a few times this season. They couldn't that time. Borthwick Jackson heads it onto Arthur, who can only get the crossbar. Ammo plays it back to Jisobla, back to Ammo. Bang! Ammo with the goal, but I don't think it's offside because he would have whistled otherwise. David Ammo gives us the lead in the cup final. Apparently that was only a half chance, but I don't really see how. Great link up with Ammo and Toshobla. Really good link up play. Great 1-2. And Ammo, despite the defender coming on, just takes his time, lets the defender skip past him and buries it in the back of the net. 1-0. And let's push on now, lads. Let's get the second and try and secure this cup win. Wow, what a lightning speed from that player for Jaro. And he's whipped it in, and a great save from Wolf. Absolutely fantastic. It was a lightning quick run down the wing, and we were powerless to stop it, and the powerless to stop the cross. And even, if Wolf wasn't there, would have found the back of the net. And Wolf yet again gathering the ball. 2 clear-cut opportunity Jaro have missed. They've definitely had some chances, and we are quite fortunate to still be 1-0. Alright, so we're going to kick Cole Stockton off. Not had a good game today. We're going to bring Jer Carlson on. In fact, no, we're not. We're going to bring on Versa Newland. The reason I'm doing that is because Carlson's leaving, and he's not scored all season long anyway. One thing I have currently this season, one thing that's troubled me, is neither backup striker Carlson or the other guy we signed earlier on in the season, the Armenian, who I can't quite remember, and he's not played actually in about 3 or 4 months because he wants to leave. Basically, both of them haven't scored this entire season from what I can remember. So I'm just going to bring the youngster on in the final. Why the hell not? He may surprise a few people. And Bocard as well is going to come off. We're going to have a fresh pair of legs in a defensive midfield role for us. Or this, again, I keep saying defensive mid role. It's a centre mid role that's the most defensively minded. But yeah, just add a fresh pair of legs there. Hopefully help win the ball and stuff. So Ammo down the right hand side to Jamie Allen. Plays it back to Chisobla. Passing the ball around nicely. And that's surely going to be a red card. He's already on the yellow. He's got to be off. Get in there. Jaro down to 10 men. Now we can surely just kill the game off with our dominance. We're actually going to make another substitution. We are going to take Jamie Allen off. We are going to bring on Alexis Alagui, who scored that, of course, brilliant goal against HJK. We're going to see if that can make sort of any difference. I still want to get the second. 1 goal is never... Well, 1 goal is enough. But you always want to get that second just to add yourself that little bit of security against conceding. 5 minutes now remaining. Come on, FC Lahti. It looks like the game's dying out anyway. It's not been a highlight since that red card. And there we go. Surely it has. A free kick has been given to Jaro. Arthur has been booked, but it's not highlight worthy. So, seconds remain now. Come on. Come on. Bang. Why did Wolf pick up the ball there? That should have been a free kick. Arthur he kicked it back to him. Anyway, we get the win. 1-0. It wasn't pretty, but we got enough. We did enough in the end of the day. It was that great link-up play to the goal. Sending off obviously helped as well. Sort of just killed any of Jaro's chances of getting back in the match. But most importantly to me is that we won the cup, and it's great. The performance has been fantastic. Get another major trophy delights the FC Lahti fans. Absolutely delighted to win the competition. But the team we had, no one really can stand in our way. Great moment against FC Lahti. But looking forward, can you build in this success? I think the club is capable of going on to be a real force. And Charlie Taylor was magnificent today. Something I really like is this. We've entered the Finland Hall of Fame. That's brilliant. We're just at the bottom of the list now. And hopefully we can get that one more league title that we want. Just propel us up a little bit higher. And, we can leave being proud of our time here. So, yeah, we've won it. We've qualified for the Europa League as well. That's one less thing to worry about, one less thing on the team's mind. Now we turn our attention to Udinese in the Europa League, and then we'll return against JJK, not HJK, but JJK. So, next time we're back will hopefully be a time where we can win the league. If not, it will be the last ever game we'll play in the league with FC Lahti. So, meet you guys back in a second when that occurs. Alright guys, so we're back and looking at the league table. You'll see that we're top. We have 4 points clear and there are 2 games left remaining. So today, we can win the league. And it's it's purely because, well, it's not purely because, but part of the reason is because I believe HJK choked. I don't think they can handle the pressure because, of course, when I last saw you, it was the cup final. We've played 2 league games since then, but we've also played Udinese in the league. So I'll run through these fixtures, I guess, first. So against Udinese, we lost 4-2. In a game that we were 2-0 down in, we ended up coming back to 2-2 before yet again throwing away 2 goals. Putting a very, very brave fight. You know, for a team that were expected to go there and not do very well, we actually performed decently well, you know, valiant effort, let's call it that. I mean, defensively, we were poor, very poor. And overall, actually, if you look at the match ratings, only a few people played particularly well, and it was Cameron Borthwick-Jackson and Cole Stockton who got the 2 goals. But still, you know, we're not expected to do anything in this competition. I won't be here anyway for than one more group game, I believe. So, you know, there's no deal difference, basically, you know. I don't care really if we win or lose this. It's just sort of a nice little experience. But yeah, we lost that game. So then moving on back into the league, we beat JJK 4-2, beat Cameron Borthwick-Jackson getting 2, Matai Gallen getting 1, and Cole Stockton getting 1. In a game that we twice threw away the league. You know, Wellington equalised 6 minutes after Borthwick-Jackson gave us the lead. Matai Gallen, gave us the goal, and then Laurie Daly Valley, an ex-player of ours, got the equaliser a minute later. So a little bit frustrating, but finally we broke the deadlock yet again in the 66th minute, and this time we were able to hold on and grow on it. So good victory there, and then very recently we have beaten VPS, with Alexis Alagi getting a goal in the 5th minute to help us secure the game. Borthwick-Jackson got himself sent off in that one in the 78th minute in a very frustrating red card. One that I think could have been avoidable with just a little bit more thinking. But, you know, either way, we've got Jaro today, who they themselves have 2 people suspended. We have 2 people suspended, and the backup player for Stanley Bocard also injured, so bit of a frustrating thing. But yeah, Paul Jaro just can't get away with it. We have beaten them in 3 cup finals since I've been here, and we could be about to win the league against them today. Which would mean that 4 of my 6 trophies that I've won here would have been won at Jaro. Or against Jaro. So that'd be nice, or confirmed anyway against Jaro, because of course you can't win the league in 1 game. But yeah, I was talking about how HJK choked, and I think they did. Let me just have a look at HJK, because at one point I believe they had 2 games in hand, and yeah, I think it was after we played them. You know, we had the cup final and the Europa League game, so we had a bit of a we couldn't play in the league for a little bit, and they actually played FC Haka and they drew, and then following that they played Honka and they lost 2-0. So in game, I've looked at the fixture list, of course, last time, and I said they're all pretty winnable games, maybe apart from Honka, but they've actually, you know, they've dropped 5 points. They've picked up 1 point out of a possible 6 in a very important stage of the season, and you know, the gap was so small anyway, with so little games remaining. It was important that no one dropped points, and they did it on 2 occasions, and there you go. You know, that's why we can currently win the league today. So let's hopefully win it today. If not, we'll go into the final game of the season against KUPS or Cupes, and hopefully beat them. So, team for today to hopefully win us the league is Wolf in goal, Abdullah right back, Arthur Wilson and Taylor. The midfield is Alagu, Tishobala and Allen. The midfield is Amo and Gallen, and up front we have Stockton. So, a little bit of a rotated team with Wilson being in the team, Tishobala playing ball winning midfield defence instead of his deep line playmaker support role, which is what he normally plays. Due to the suspensions and injuries and stuff. But still, very strong team, and what a team I'm very confident can get the result we want today. So, yeah, let's go into it. I mean, we'll keep an eye on the HJK game, because if we lose this game and they lose their game, we win the league. You know, if we win this game, no matter what the result is, we've won. If we draw this game, then the result will depend on HJK, whether they draw the game or lose the game. But obviously, we want to win this one, and that way we don't have to look at the other result or even monitor it. We know we can win the league. So, come on, FC Lahti, one more time, one more trophy I like to win here before I step down. I'm not actually sure the official day I will step down, but yeah, I will step down at some point in the future. I don't think you'll see it on camera, but I will make a note if I win anything here, as in Manager of the Year awards and stuff, or I might even come back and put it at the end of this video, I'm not too sure. But Wolf with a fantastic save in the 13 minutes, keeping us at 0-0. Jaro almost getting a very early lead. And it's been a decent game so far. 4 shots, 2 on target. You know, quite a decent start. Now we are trying to get an attack. Ammo finds Cole Stockton, who gives it back to Ammo. Bit of space to run into. He runs into it, crosses it in, finds Matai Gallen at the far post, and somehow Ust in goal keeps it out. So 2 very good opportunities for both teams now in the first 20 minutes, but still it is 0-0. If all results were to stay the same, we'd be walking away with the league title today at home. I'm not sure if our last game was at home. I didn't even look when we were on the fixture list at that time. I didn't even look beforehand. So I think this might even be our last home game of the season. So it'd be really nice to win it here. Algu or Algi, I'm not too sure how to pronounce that guy's name. I think I'll be calling him Algi all the time. So I don't think it's pronounced like that, but apologies. Wilson out wide to Charlie Taylor. Let's put up an attack from the defence. Gallen is got it out wide, trying to play it into Stockton. Pretty poor pass in the end. Or really just maybe a poor choice. But now Jaro whipping this one in, and Arthur Worry clears it away. Almost came straight back in. It wasn't a perfect clearance, but somehow we keep the ball out of the back of the net, and that is the most important thing. And now we are chasing it down. With the points being 4, it does mean HJK are still drawing. I imagine it's still 0-0 in their game, due to the fact no points has changed on the league table at all, which means they haven't fallen behind or taken the lead. But, yeah, we're favourites here. Do this to the fans. Come on. Really, I wish there was an option that said, let's win the league here today in front of the crowd, you know, in front of the fans, and get it over and done with, in a way. Maybe not over and done with, maybe not the right words to use, but something along them lines. You know, that'd be a nice little option to say at this stage. Anyway, Allen out wide. Maybe another chance to cross this one in, or go inside himself and went for the shot. You know, he was in his rights too. Half chance there. And we're definitely playing the better of the 2 teams. You know, it took maybe a little while for us to completely control the game and completely look on top. But we do look on top now. And this is our game for the taking. Allen with a free kick, crossing this one in, trying to find Wilson, but couldn't. Allen gets the ball back out again. And actually, Ammo now, edge of the box, through ball to Cole Stockton. Cole Stockton, there yet again, so many times, time after time, again and again. Cole Stockton is the guy to get us the goals we need. And, you know, Exhibit A, it's nowhere near offside. That, you know, 2 people have played him on there. And Cole Stockton, call as you like, placing it in the back of the net. We get ourselves a 1-0 lead, and that will be enough, or that might be enough, to secure us the league title today. Depends what Jaro and how Jaro react. I mean, they themselves can't really do anything with this season. Their best chance was of getting Europe was to get the cup win, but they didn't. I'm not sure what happens if we win this. If we win the Champions League, I'm not sure if it goes to 2nd place. I doubt it does. But yeah, this is, you know, they've got nothing really to play for apart from Villa Pride. So, and obviously they want to beat us. So, oh no, they're not going to. Never mind. Cole Stockton yet again with another goal. His 36th goal of the season, and he's 2nd in the game. And in the space of, what was it, 4 minutes, I think it said there, we have wrapped up this match. Ammo, I believe, linking with Stockton again. No, he didn't. It was Allen to Stockton. Ammo could have probably laid it off, but decided to run in the box himself anyway. And, yeah, HJK have taken the lead, but that will have no effect on us winning the league. We will officially confirm it here today. Ami Mekatali gets himself sent off, which will definitely just kill this game off. I'm not even going to bother making subs. I mean, if the players get tired, I think they've got... well, they've got a Europa League game, so yeah, I guess we'll make some subs. We'll rotate the team. Charlie Taylor will come off. We'll bring on Andrea Alberti. We'll bring youngster on, Vesa Newland, one of our better youngsters in the team. We'll bring him on, and we'll also bring on another decent youngster. Well, actually, we'll bring on a guy that has been in this club for a few years, is leaving at the end of the season because he's unhappy about the first team football. So we'll bring him on, and he can experience the full-time whistle where we'll officially win the league. You know, nice experiences for the lads, especially for the youngster. There was another youngster on the bench, the other centre mid, but, you know, I don't think he's going to ever really achieve much. I mean, he's a decent player, but I don't think he'll grow to the potential he's quoted by the coaching staff. I believe the way we won't even be here to see that. You know, there's no difference anyway. So now we enter the final 30 seconds that you'll see on camera at FC Lahti. And the final 30 or 20, 15 seconds now for us to win the league. Giving the ball away. Let's not concede, lads. Clean sheet, 2-0 victory over Jaro would be very nice. And it is. So there we go. There we have it. We have won the league. We have won the treble yet again. 2 trebles in a row. That is a fantastic achievement no matter what league you're really... Well, I guess it does depend what league you're in. But for a club that 2 full seasons ago finished the league Well, actually, I was here. So, yeah, 3 years ago, they finished the league bottom half the table. 3 years ago. 3 years in the future from that point, I wouldn't have really... When I took over, for example, I wouldn't have said we'd be winning 2 trebles in a row in 3 years' time. I said I'd love to have won the league in 3 years' time. So 2 trebles is just beyond anyone's expectations. Beyond mine, beyond the boards, beyond everyone. Fans included. I mean, I knew we had the quality in the team, but still 2 trebles in a row is a lot of hard work. You have to maintain your form, a bit of luck as well. First year we were so dominant in the leagues. This year, definitely a little bit trickier. I mean, players wanting to leave and stuff, I think does affect the players' performance. People are interested in bigger clubs and stuff. Partly the reason I want to leave, I mean, I would have stayed my contract out, but the thought of another summer process of trying to keep people here and stuff, and on the other hand, I could leave and maybe move to a new challenge and not have to deal with all that rubbish. If I want to move to a bigger club, because I would be at a bigger club, that I'm afraid outweighs what I could get from staying here. So the club qualifies for the Champions League, which is really great for them. I'm not sure how well they'll do. They're losing a lot of players in the off-season. But one thing we're going to check before I cut this bit here and meet you back again a bit later on is just check the Hall of Fame and just check how we are doing. Or how we did in the nation. So we ended up finishing 6th, or currently we're going to be leaving with our person in 6th. I think the guy below us is currently manager of HJK. No, he's not. In fact, I don't know who is the actual manager of HJK currently. He's at SJK. He's at HJK, so the guy above us. So yeah, we could be here for a long time. We could be in Finland's Hall of Fame for a very, very long time, which is nice to see. As a continent, where are we currently at? 100 and something points. Obviously not going to be enough to get on the leaderboard, but it is enough to, still be a decent size. Look at that, 2 trebles in a row. That list looks really nice as a record. The same 3 trophies, the same 2 dates next to them side by side. And worldwide, what does that put us with the other trophy we have won? Or the other 2 trophies, but one only gives us points. The S League puts us at 197. So still a long way off, and you can't take away from the brilliant record we have. So yeah, I'll meet you guys in a second when I actually resign. I probably will do it on camera. Like I said, we'll go through a few of the awards. Maybe we'll win. I don't see why we wouldn't win Manager of the Year again and stuff. But yeah, I'll meet you guys back in a second for that. Okay, guys, so let's finish up our time here at FC Lahti. So going in the inbox, quickly. Yeah, we finished the season with a 1-1 draw against whoever it was against, KUPS. And we also lost to Renee's, whatever their team name was again. I'm sorry about that. Standard Renee's. We lost to them 3-2 in a game that we took the lead in the 21st minute, but just sort of fell apart before half time. They were 3-1 up. We got one back, but it was nothing but a consolation as well. And then, even in the last game of the league season, we drew 1-1. But yeah, we. Matai Gallen picked up fair play. Let's go through the awards anyway. So Matai Gallen won fair play award for the year. Alan got most assists in the league with 15. Gallen got most player of the match. Awards with 6 awards in 33 games. Pretty good record. Alexis Algi got rookie of the year. I'm kind of surprised about that, but either way, I'm happy. 8 players got in Premier League team this season. Mosander, Taylor, Arthur, Borthwick, Jackson, Abdullah, Tishobola, Allen, and then Cole Stockton. So that's an incredible record. I don't have a clue why Gallen isn't in the team. Maybe because it's a formation or something, I don't know. But Gallen won player of the year, so that even makes it more confusing why I didn't pick it up. Cole Stockton and Jamie Allen got 2nd and 3rd. Cole Stockton won top goal scorer. But that was pretty obvious. 21 league goals this season. He actually broke a record this year for the most goals scored in a single season. He held it last year with 34, and this year he got 36. Obviously, a few more in other competitions. Not as good as last year, but still incredible. And Matai Gallen came 3rd. Goal of the year, we don't really care about that. Manager of the year, I won that, which is the most important thing in my eyes. And yeah, goalkeeper of the year, we came 1st and 2nd. Defender of the year, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Midfielder of the year, 1st, 2nd, and goal and striker, our only striker. But yeah, this is going to be it. This is where we're going to end. Our record and our overall manager has changed so much since being here. The little achievement down the bottom left has, 2 manager of the year awards. 6 trophies. It's incredible, and even a 3rd place as well. That's where that 3rd place comes from. As well, also, while we were here, we won with Tongo. So really, that's 7 trophies won since we've taken over FC Lahti. Also, as well, we have got a National A license now, having been here. We're currently studying for a Continental C, so I'm not really sure how resigning is going to affect that. But yeah, obviously, we'll find out right now. So we are going to resign from FC Lahti, having finished our thing. Decided to end his reign from his position. Had lifted 2 league titles and 4 cup competitions. In what had been a fantastic year. Henrik Larsson is one of the people expected to maybe take over. Also this guy, another Finnish manager. So yeah, Max Exodus. What I want to do actually is I want to subscribe to all of these guys and see if I can bring them with me in my next job. That'd be great if I could. Of course, it will depend on whether they want to move to the country with me or not. But to me, if they leave with you, because it's something I've not really had happen, because I don't really leave too many teams in my time. But in this save, it's not happened to me at all. So this is the first time it's happened, and to me, what it means is the club, or the coaches anyway that have done it so far, would follow me through thick and thin. They really trust me, and that's great to have in your staff. You know, people that clearly like you. But yeah, so that's it. Our time at FC Lahti is done. We end that chapter in our career, and we look forward to a new one. Currently, teams available: QPR in the Premier League, a few from our league, Rangers in the SPL, a lot of American teams, Argentinian teams. But you already know where I want to go to. It's Africa next. That is the next stop, and it's about waiting for the right job opportunity. So next time I'll meet you back, we will have that new job, hopefully. If not, it may be an update in a few years' time. I don't know, but it'll probably be a next job. I mean, I don't see why I would even update you if I don't have a new job. So, hopefully it's the next job in Africa. If not, it'll be a new job somewhere else. But I do want to see if I can get a job in Africa, even if it means I'm out of job for a little while. We're in no real rush. My person's, what is he, 25 now? I clicked on the wrong thing. My person is now 26. So, you know, realistically, that's another 50 years of your career. So there's no rush. It's about picking the right job and the job I want. So yeah, until next time, guys, peace out. Stan!